Hi, Erica. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine. I know that I'm in Michigan, you're in California, so it's 8 a.m. here and 5 a.m. Wow, you're awesome. Hey, so today we're doing the English version, like 10 or 15 minutes. This is just a reminder for the viewers. So today we're gonna talk about sudden deaths, right?
Mhm.
And I just wanted to mention, and then I'll leave you the floor. Um, I just had as you know, I just had my Pomeranian, my 14-year-old Pomeranian, 7 pounds. She passed from collapsed trachea. And it was horrible. And I'm keeping here in my area. I'm keeping her leash with a little angel thing. And I just want to remind the viewers that it is hard to lose someone that you love so much and for so long, 14 years. But uh, what I do personally is just think that she's in a better place. You call it heaven or not or whatever. Just she's not with this painful body of hers that she has. So her spirit, her soul is in a. I try to imagine her in a green pasture. I imagine her with my father, abuelo. She used to play with him. He used to love her. He used to sing to her, "Chiqui, chiqui, ra ra ra." He loved her. And I just keep asking my other pets that have passed before me to please be with her, play with her, be with her, give her love. And I also, at time I call her, like yesterday before I went to sleep, I look at where she used to sleep and I kiss and I imagine that she was licking my face. So that helps me cope. What about you? Any sudden death that you would like to share?
Yes. So I'm in the middle of publishing my book, Creating Grief, Creating Peace Through the Grieving Process.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
and and that book is written so that we can connect with our loved ones.
Right.
Um, I think sometimes we're desperate for signs, we're desperate for connection, we're desperate. A lot of people are, when they die, are they okay? Are they okay? Are our pets okay? Right. And the thing is that, like what you're doing, you're connecting with your doggy. And so you could feel her spirit. Um, but you have to trust it. See, the problem with all of this work is that our logical minds, they take us away from the spiritual, they take us away from the connections, because we think, oh, it's just a coincidence. But in this world, there are no coincidences. But when I was writing that book, um, when I was writing that book, my cousin died in the middle of it. I hadn't finished it. I was in the middle of it,
Sorry.
and it was unexpected. Um, as a matter of fact, we were supposed to meet each other the following week. He died on a Thursday. We were supposed to see each other the following Friday. And we were both traveling to Texas. He lived in Sanderson, Texas, and he was traveling to El Paso, and I lived in LA, and I was traveling to LA just to see each other. Um, and then I got the phone call that he died,
Ah,
and I was like, and I'm writing this book, and I'm angry, and I know it's hard. I'm not gonna tell you, like I even say it in the book, like you don't want to do the work to connect. You don't want to, you're angry because you lost your loved one, but at the same time, um, my my cousin, he was a double amputee,
ah.
and he had extreme diabetes, and so he had all these issues. And so sometimes I feel like we want them with us, but we don't understand the pain that they go through. And if God says it's time to go, it's time to go. So I was at work, and they called me. It was such a shock that I had to sit down. I was really quiet, and I'm not a quiet person. And I was just like shocked, and I told my students what happened, and then I'm reading, and I was like, you know what? I told my students, I'm gonna ask for a sign, and the sign I'm gonna ask for is a bird. you know. And so you could do that. You can ask for a sign. So anyway, afterwards I come pick up my daughter, and she was real upset because I told her what happened to my cousin, and we were driving, and then we drive into this restaurant and drive through, and the car right before us has a symbol of the dove on the car.
Of a bird?
Of a bird, yeah. That was my cousin.
Ah, that's
My-
your sign, right in front
yeah,
of
my
you.
cousin was saying hi. And
Oh, that's
death,
beautiful. And you felt it right away.
yeah, and death is hard. It's not easy, but I do believe that our pets are with our loved ones. Both you and I have lost a baby. Um, and so I picture my baby with my parents,
Exactly.
um, they're taking care of my baby, Um, so, and I mean, and the grief is there, For me, I lost my baby in June, so so I always remember him, you know, and it's been several years, but I'll always remember that little baby,
Right.
and but I know that he's okay. I know that he's fine. I know that God knows why. Um, there's some things that are not meant to be answered.
Exactly. We just
Uh,
have to accept it.
yeah, it's just he knows why. And so the best thing that we can do is find peace. In my book, it talks about if you had a ritual with your person, like how you said every night she'd come and kiss you, you could still do that.
Exactly.
Um, you could still, watch a movie, invite them in, say, hey, come sit down, let's watch this movie, or let's go to a concert, or whatever it is. You could still do a lot of these things. But you have to just trust and believe that they're with you, and they are. They never leave us. When my dad died, it was hard because I lived in LA. My dad lived in Texas, and I didn't get to see him before he died. He was already in the hospital, but I didn't get to be with him, spend time with him, talk to him. He was in and out of consciousness, and it was really hard for me. And at the time, I wasn't so connected spiritually or anything like that.
Right.
But I remember thinking, my dad lived in Texas, I lived here. And now that he's gone, my dad is with me everywhere I go.
That's the way it is. Yep.
And he doesn't he's with me. And he's with me, and he's with my brother, he's with my sister, he's with my other brother, he's with all of us.
Yes.
And he could do that because he's gone. And my dad, he was very sick, and he was suffering. And so you have to find peace with that.
My dad, thank you for sharing. My dad, I was in Hawaii and he was in Puerto Rico because he wanted to go see my siblings. But then Hurricane Maria came, and it was like that too. He wasn't rescued on time, and then he got kind of like pseudo comatose. So he was like here and there, and he had a feeding tube, and I felt so guilty, so horrible. But now that he's out of that body, he's here all the time. He helps me. He coming through readings and everything. So yes, we can do that. We can do that. Thank you for sharing.
And then he plays your music.
Yeah, he turns things on and off. My disc jockey.
No, it's true. I mean, it's hard because, like you said, we do carry guilt. I mean, we carry guilt, but we have to understand that the guilt doesn't serve us. And again, I am a strong believer that if God allowed it, it's because he knows.
Exactly. And for those that don't believe in God, then
The
if
universe,
the universe or right, a spirit or source,
power,
right, yeah, if it's happening, let it be. Let's stop fighting nature. Mother Nature knows.
I know it's hard because there's a lot of people who lose like young, teenagers or in car accidents and things like that. But I see it as they had a mission, their mission was completed, and now they're at rest,
Yes.
you know.
Well, thank you, Erica. I guess we'll wrap up and then we will do the next video next Saturday. Thank you so much for your words.
Thank you.
And go back to sleep. Love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye.